Hi, and welcome to episode 9 of School Psych to Go. This episode is about real self care. I listened to a podcast on Ezra Klein's show, and in this episode, he had somebody filling in for him doing the interviewing. Her name is Tressie McMillan Cottom, and she is a sociologist at University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill. She's also the author of Thick, which is essays that examine race, gender, beauty standards from a Black feminist perspective. In this episode, she interviews Pooja Lakshmin, who's a psychiatrist who wrote the book Real Self-Care, which redefines self-care, and her messages definitely resonated with me. In the podcast, they talk first about faux self-care, which we'll all recognize. That's the kind people might roll their eyes about. It might be involve something to buy or another thing to do. And some of these things, of course, they're short-term, they're enjoyable, but we also have to be aware that the privileged have more opportunities to enjoy these things, and they just kind of keep the status quo going. This is in contrast to real self-care that involves some internal work, but can truly be life-changing over the long term. And this is not a task to do, by itself. It's really weaved through everything that we do and every decision we make. And it doesn't take away the short-term suffering in every case in the same way that maybe some of the faux self-care does. Dr. Lakshmin gives 4 categories of real self-care: setting boundaries, self-compassion, aligning your behaviors with your values, and exercising power. And I'm just going to share, of course, this is just a short snippet of some of the ideas, but I'll share a few ideas that I really liked. And if you want to delve in more, I'll share the resources again. So the first one with boundary setting, certainly this is something I've been working on more in my personal life than my professional life. But instead of making an immediate decision saying, let me get back to you about that. So instead of saying like right away, yes, that sounds good, I'm excited about that, taking that pause. And that pause is the boundary. So even just working on taking that pause is a great first step. It's been hard for me to implement, but something that could be very helpful. And someone once suggested to me that I actually take the step of going to my calendar and putting in that commitment, like, what responsibilities would I have, and seeing if or how those actually would fit into my day-to-day life. And that could really make a decision. Something I also got about boundaries from someone else is that boundaries are only about what we can do. When we set boundaries, it's not telling someone else what they should or shouldn't do, because we don't have any control over them. So we can only set boundaries for our own behavior. And we have 3 choices: yes, no, or to negotiate. And then the other point I got from this interview was that the person that we're setting the boundary with can't be the person that's going to make us feel better about it. So we probably are going to need somebody else to talk to if we need to kind of work through our feelings about setting the boundary, and really trust that the relationship with that person is going to survive the challenge. This other area, self-compassion, is about paying attention to how we talk to ourselves. And it might not be actual words that we say to ourselves, but more of a feeling, thinking about treating ourselves as we would a good friend or a child that we love. And that's also difficult, but a good habit to change. And if you want to look more into that, this book, Self-Compassion, is excellent, by Kristen Neff. I thought I already knew. I didn't realize how much there would be to really think about with this topic until I read the book. It was a bunch of years ago, but I really enjoyed it. So it's highly recommended if you haven't read it. And a third area that was discussed is about aligning values with behavior. And of course, our values change, so we have to reevaluate that in different seasons of our lives. And it's not just one big decision that we make, it's really those small choices that we make. I like the work also of James Clear, who wrote Atomic Habits, and he talks about each smaller decision or choice we make is like a vote, in terms of like voting for what matters the most to us. It's the small things that add up. So here are the resources again. That the book is Real Self-Care, and the podcast I listened to was on the Ezra Klein show. It was in well, you're gonna have to look up the Ezra Klein show and look up Real Self-Care, and it'll come up. And I hope you enjoy those. And thanks for listening. And if you want to hear more videos like this on a whole variety of topics for school psychologists, please tune in to the channel or subscribe, whatever you do with those things. It's youtube.com/schoolpsych2go.